Awesome. Well, friends, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm building the basement for my log house, and I'm going to be using ICF, insulated concrete forms. It's going together here quite quickly. I'll show you how I'm doing everything, and we'll get this basement built. To get the wall started perfectly straight like this, I snapped these chalk lines on the footing, and they're the same width as the block. Nice. So now the first round is up. These are really going to snap together quickly. So I'll try and get the hang of snapping these damn things together. Yeah, you can sure build a wall in a hurry like this. Let's build the wall. You can see how they're just like Lego blocks, eh? The most important part here is going to be getting this perfectly level. And if we get it perfectly level now, it's going to probably stay level the whole way up. I thought that this was going to be really easy because I spent a lot of time on my footings. But once the concrete dried and settled down, I do notice that I got a little more to do than I thought. The majority of it is pretty straight. This is a 42-foot wall. I got a couple spots that are just a little bit high, and I got one that's a little bit low, and there isn't much here, maybe 1/4 of an inch from high to low, but I can see it, and I would just like to get it as good as possible. So I'll show you how to level this out, raise it and lower it. So the footing is just a touch high right here. Just cutting it that 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, however much you need, lowers it down. So this says it's only 1/8 inch too low. Hardly anything, but it's very simple to just take a wood shim, and now it's perfect, and it might as well be. I got the walls dead level and dead straight, and now they're spray foamed in place to hold them there. And because they are, I should be able to stack this 7 layers of block and hopefully end up really close to level. The forms have built-in slots to place the rebar, and I'm just tying them together even though I don't think it's necessary. And then once the walls are at full height, I'll drop long rebar down like this one, and then you can see, so it's on the tension side of this concrete wall where I want it to be, and then the horizontal bars are actually holding this in place. So this row here, it's going to look different, and I'll show you why right away.
Nice, really nice.
Okay, I'm gonna have to be careful not to box myself in here. I better get everything I need in the center. I needed the outside of this ICF to look nice because this is going to be ground level, so there'll be dirt up to here. So there's 5 feet of ICF that's going to stick out of the ground. And I know that there's a lot of really nice synthetic rock work and stuff to make it look good and fake stone, but you know, I've put so much effort into building this natural log house that it would kind of dishonor my logs here to match them up with a synthetic material. I wanted it. I just really wanted real stone. But how do I secure that to this ICF, which is just foam and plastic ties? So in an ICF wall, once you fill it with concrete, there's these plastic studs that you screw into to hold your drywall and siding. Every 8 inches on center, you can screw into this whole plate here. But I want to test it to see how well this is going to anchor my stone to the outside. Okay. That was a little too easy, I'm afraid. I'll try it another time here. Okay. So this time I'll use a hammer. You could see actually, it's not bad. It's pretty good considering it's plastic. Like I'm pulling pretty good there now. But comparing this to wood is just stretching it in the worst way. This ledge here in this row fills with concrete all the way around. And then you get this beautiful ledge that can support a ton of weight to support a rock veneer all the way around the outside of this foundation. So I'll stack rocks up, and then all that weight coming down is supported. This is a great product for speed. You can have all the rebar set for this brick ledge in 5 minutes. But what I've found with this ICF system is that all these little add-ons and things you didn't think of add up to $1,000 here and $1,000 there, and you got a pretty big number pretty quick. This basement is full of windows, and they're nice windows that you can just see right out of. It's really gonna make this a nice space. Beauty. I got another little window. This is a little window for the bathroom. So I'll take this apart and cut it. You can see I marked it here, but you can just measure 4 inches from the bottom of the block because it's perfectly level. Nice. I rented all this bracing from the local hardware store. You can usually rent it there. And now it's time to set it up. So I just start by screwing in all these stiff backs. Check that this is straight, and you can see the stud is stacked on top of each other. So if I get it straight, I can screw the whole wall in. So now I put the brace in. Just latches like that. Hold out this piece. It sits on that pin. Sits my boards on there, and that's the scaffolding so I can work up here. But this is the big problem I had. So this is going to hold my wall straight, and the last thing I want is on pour day to find out that the pins that came with it weren't good enough to hold the wall, and I really don't think they are. It's only like 1 or maybe 2 per, and this is not going to go deep enough into the ground here in this gravel. So I bought some heavy rebar because it was a cheap way of doing this. You can see now, this is just a hell of a lot more like business. Just leveling the wall, it's got to pull in a bit, so well friends, it's a beautiful day. Got my coffee and there's only 2 rounds remaining before the basement's all stacked up here, so let's get her done. So this to me is a lot more than a basement, you know. The goal with this was, it wasn't just gonna be a dungeon that you store shit and forget about and never go down. I wanted to make it very livable space in that it would be enjoyable to be down here on a hot summer day, make really nice bedrooms out of it as well. These windows are fucking massive. Like really fucking massive, holy smokes. Beauty, what a beauty. Just trying to show you some scale here. This house is gonna be massive, guys. If you got lots of windows like me, this is probably about the most important step. Well friends, I've been working hard to get as much done as I can in the back here. Finishing around all the windows. I got as much stuff hauled in as I think I'll need. And now I'm gonna finish this off and box myself out. It's a rainy day today, so I'll have a break and some coffee and wait for this to pass. It is a god-awful, horrible day today. Lows of 4 degrees. It's August. We had frost in July here. This is the most important beam in the whole basement here. So if I get this right, I'll get the whole house right, because I built everything to this same standard. Well friends, it's a beautiful day, just having a coffee. I got just finish up around the windows here. There's a lot of work to do today, and then this is pretty well done. We're getting really close to being done here, so get right at her. Okay, time to finish all these windows, and man, there are a ton of them. So this is actually the buck. I wasn't sure if I should use this truthfully. The trouble is these are expensive for what they are. What's quite often done is just treated wood all the way around. And that definitely is stronger for securing windows than putting screws into this plastic. But you do get a couple advantages of not having wood next to the concrete. But we'll see how that goes. We'll do a window here. Just cut these out. These are access holes so we can get concrete in underneath. Done. That's effectively how that will stay, and then the concrete secures it in place, hopefully enough. But this is a huge window. There's going to be a few 100 pounds of concrete on top of it, so I got to build a system that will brace it and keep it from staying and bowing in. Those rebar benders work really good for making stirrups, but if you don't have one, or you borrowed one and then returned it and forgot about some, then this actually works pretty good too. It's very easy to just bend that rebar. And if you're careful, it can be really quite accurate too. See, I wanted this to be 11 inches. Perfect. Perfect. I built this whole wall, the entire thing with no windows, faster than I was able to build this double window system here. I mean, designing the heights, how much above grade they're going to be, the engineering, the rebar work, the cutting the ICF, the bucks, and then the bracing took more time than that whole wall, just these two. That's the final block on the wall, guys. Awesome. Shit, yeah. So I built all these windows the same, and I'm not an engineer, so I just said, let me look at this table and let me build this so overkill, you know, probably 5-6 times the actual amount of weight on that'll be on here at least. Like, it's huge overkill. So I got two 15 millimeters bars there at the bottom of the lintel in tension. The stirrups are to protect this beam from shear, and then I got two 15 millimeters vertically all the way down on each side of the window. So it was a little extra work, but it didn't cost much to do, and now this thing is just built extremely strong. Why not, hey? I went totally overkill here. I did the same thing on the double window, but I put stirrups basically the whole way, and that was probably a bit ridiculous. And then I made sure to build this to be really strong. Well, friends, I'm getting rained on pretty damn good here. The next step is going to be to pour this foundation, and I'm really excited, but I'm really damn nervous because this is foam and there's going to be so much to pour here, so much windows to get filled, and this shit, like, there's going to be a lot going on. I got to make sure I go check all the boxes and go through everything, have a good crew. So I think I'm going to end up doing a lot more bracing around the corners. I still have to form all these deck posts. I got to brace the top, straighten things out. That'll all be in the next video. This has been by far the most expensive project I've ever done in my life. I wanted a concrete basement. This house will last. It's going to be excellent living space. That being said, I'm really missing log building. You know, it's been a long time since I've cut logs. That's what I like to do. That's what I'm getting good at. And the beauty of that is, I was out here for 2 years cutting logs and building that house, and I spent more here in 1 day on this than I did in those 2 years. I'm so lucky to have been able to cut those logs and do it like that, because that's how I was actually able to save up the money to be able to do this. When you're at the hardware store every day buying framing material and nails and waterproofing shit and like windows and everything, it's just really hard to have any money. It's just gone. It adds up so damn quick. I don't know if you guys want to hear me go into detail about all the prices of this stuff. If there's enough interest, I don't know, maybe I will. No promises. But what I found with this ICF, just my thoughts, mind you, I'm someone who's been building with logs for a long time and kind of forget how expensive everything is. I didn't mind buying the corners and the straight pieces. You get a lot there. You get your forms, your studs, and the insulation. That's going to cost a lot of money no matter what. A lot of the add-ons, though, I think you have to be real careful with and really calculate all the little details, which seems to be every project you do. It's those hidden damn things that cost you so much money. This brick ledge was a little more, but I don't think I mind that too bad either. But the rebar that goes in there and the fox bucks were really expensive around the window. I'm not sure if I'll do those again if I were to do it. I'll have to see how much I like them to see if I'd ever do them again. And this might sound a little ridiculous, but it's just my thoughts. When I seen this box of stuff, these clips, I did not think that a box of these would cost me $190 after tax. And I started my third box. I think these are really expensive, even though they're damn nice to use. That being said, I'm damn happy with her, guys. I'm excited to pour and keep pushing forward here, man. I look around here and all the things I gotta buy and work I gotta do, and you sure gotta be optimistic about it here as one guy. Pretty daunting there, but I'll keep giving her and doing what I can every day, guys, and hope to share it all with you. I hope everyone's doing just great.